Hi, Patrick Lemasters here with Lemasters Christian Martial Arts Academy. Today's video is a tutorial on how to properly fold your uniform. As you know, we have been following the traditional etiquette of a Chinmukwan Taekwondo dojang in that we do not wear our uniforms outside of class or school events. A couple reasons for this are, well, one, since we're wearing white gis now, it's going to help us to keep them a little bit cleaner. But then the second and I think most important reason is that it follows the tenet of Taekwondo, modesty. We don't want to be parading around out in public in our uniforms like, hey, look at me, I'm a martial artist. So basically the rule is you need to come to class with your uniform properly folded and in plain clothes with shorts on under whatever other clothes you'd be wearing so that you can have shorts on to just pull the uniform right over top of. And then at the end of class, you'll take your uniform off and properly fold it before leaving the dojang. We will use well, in this tutorial, I'll demonstrate a few different versions of how to fold the uniform. We'll cover the more traditional method for the Taekwondo tokbok, but then we'll also look at a different method that's specifically for a judo or jiu-jitsu gi. The method's a little bit different, mainly because the judo or jiu-jitsu gi is a little bit thicker, and the tokbok method just doesn't work with this, and so that's why we're going to be using the gi method instead of the tokbok method. I hope this video is helpful, so let's get started. For folding the tokbok, we're going to start with the uniform laid out nice and flat, with the lapels all lined up and even, as you see here. We will take the pants and fold them in half lengthwise, and simply place them right here in the center of the uniform. Then we will fold the sleeves in where they meet with the body, as such, having them overlap. And then we will fold the pants legs up to the waist, and also the bottom of the uniform will fold up with it. And then we fold on either side of the pants the rest of the uniform in to the center. Once all of that is finished, then we fold the whole thing in half one more time. As you can see, this uniform is so thick it's very difficult to do that. But once we've completed that, then basically we'll just tie the belt around the uniform to keep it all together. You can do different things like I just did, creating a bit of a slip knot. We could actually tie the belt into a knot. There's no prescribed method for how the belt itself should be tied when we do the tokbok method of the fold. But as you can see, because of how thick this uniform is, the tokbok method is clearly not very practical to fold this uniform. So let's restart everything, and I'm going to show you the method that I use for the thicker gi. We start out the same way as we did for the tokbok, with everything nice and neat, spread out, nice and flat. The pants are also folded in half as before. However, we're going to go ahead and fold the pants in half from bottom to top as well. Just how you would normally fold pants. The uniform itself, the top of the uniform, we're going to open the lapels up, and we're going to place the pants inside the uniform just like this. Now, at this point, if you want, you can put other items inside the pants here, such as your shin guards, your gloves, mouthpiece. Here's an idea. Some of you maybe should think about putting some deodorant in there. When it comes to grappling close quarters with your classmates, they will thank you for it. So once we've accomplished this, we're going to close the uniform back up with the proper lapel on the outside. Nice and neat. And just like with the tokbok, we're going to fold the sleeve in on both sides. But then we're going to fold the sleeve then back out again to that last crease that we just made on either side. Now this crease in here that we just made creates a line, like an imaginary line that goes all the way down the uniform. We're going to fold the whole uniform into the center along that imaginary line. Just like so. It might overlap a little bit, and that's okay. Once I've completed that, I'm basically going to fold the whole uniform in half, top to bottom. You may need to make some adjustments, especially if you have a thicker uniform like I do. Even everything out. And as you can see, once we have the logos printed on the back of all the uniforms, when you use this as like a backpack, this will be displayed on the outside as a bit of an advertisement for our school perhaps, or just to represent your dojang. Once I have everything folded, I'm going to find the center of my belt, bring the ends together, slide through, there's my middle. I'm going to put my middle over top of where I want to tie the belt around. I don't like to do it right in the middle, but if you go up too high, it won't be very secure and it'll come loose pretty easily. So I come down maybe about a quarter of the way. I'm going to grab the whole uniform, flip it over, okay, just like so. But let me turn that around for you so you can see. Now once I'm here, we're going to take the belt, tie it just like as if we were tying a shoelace. Pull it nice and tight. Don't worry about the fabric bunching up on the sides. You can adjust that however you see fit. Pull this nice and tight to keep everything very snug and from falling apart. And then, just like we do the knot for when we tie our belts around our waist, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tie our knot. Remember, the rabbit goes over the hill and then pops back up through the hole. And then I finish tying my knot. If it loosens up a little bit, you may have to tighten it a little bit and readjust. Now once I've finished that, the easy method for completing the job will be just to take the two ends and tie a square knot, again just like we did down here. And now this part can be slung right over your shoulder and you can just wear it as like a messenger bag or satchel or whatever you want to call that. If you want to get a little bit more creative with this, once you have these two ends, you can feed one end through the center of the uniform there, through that middle crease there, and then tie your ends together just like you did before. Creating a nice square knot. And now you have yourself a backpack. Here are your straps. Just put your arms through and carry that right on your back. One note of caution that I will make about this is be careful that you don't fold your uniform up and then just throw it in a corner of a room after class and forget about it, especially after having an intense workout and really working up a sweat. Your uniform will get really funky if you do that, and nobody's going to want to grapple with you then. So make sure that you follow all of the procedures for proper uniform care, as well as the methods that I've shown you here for folding the uniform. This will eventually be on a test, because the folding of the uniform is something that was actually in the old traditional Taekwondo book, that General Choi Hong-hee had written, and so I think it is an important part of the curriculum to keep in there. Okay, well, I hope that this was useful for you. Have fun with this, and I look forward to seeing you sporting your backpacks in class. Train hard, and God bless.